Today I am with Chris Link, Deputy Public Works Director. Thank you so much for joining me, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
So today we're going to talk about emerald ash borer, something we've been talking a lot about in our community of Richfield. So because we live in Minnesota, the term EAB or emerald ash borer is used pretty frequently, but I don't know that most residents really understand what it is and how it affects our trees. So can we start with just explaining EAB a little more?
Sure, yeah. Emerald ash borer, it's an invasive insect. It originally came from Asia. It entered the U.S. in the Detroit area about 2002. Was first found in Minnesota in 2009. We started a emerald ash borer program in 2012. But realistically, what it's actually doing is killing all of the ash trees.
Okay, that sounds absolutely horrible. And what is the prevalence of EAB in Richfield?
Well, like a lot of communities, there's a lot of ash trees on the boulevards and private property. Right now, we're estimating we have about 1,700 ash trees on boulevards, probably another 400 in parks. But through a DNR, Minnesota DNR survey, they're estimating about 11,000 to 13,000 ash trees on private property that all have the potential to die.
Okay, and so what is the city doing in response to all of this?
So the city, we again, like I said before, we started a program in 2012, and it included some active removals, treatment of ash trees, which does work, and then replacing any tree that's been removed. We've gone through a couple cycles of that. When we started our program, we had roughly 3,400 ash trees on the boulevard. And again, we're down to about 1,700 now. That's our program on public property on boulevards. As far as private property, it's one of those things we have to monitor because it's a tree disease. And if your tree does need to be removed, we do have a program where residents can have the costs assessed to their property taxes, where the city will pay the cost, and then the next year it'll be assessed to their property taxes, and they can pay it over a 5-year period.
Okay, thank you for that. So I know that recently the Public Works Department marked several trees in Donaldson Park. So what is going to happen to those trees?
Yeah, it's so unfortunate that all those trees got it, but realistically, they're all going to have to be removed. We're planning on removing those late spring or into summer. Again, the stumps will be removed, and we'll be doing a tree replacement program there this fall.
Okay, and I was just going to ask that, given all the emerald all the ash trees that you just talked about across the whole city, whether it's public property, parks, or private property, we have a lot. So what is the city thinking about in terms of replacing trees and making sure that we're taking care of that urban canopy?
Yeah, we've got a number of things going on right now. First thing we have going on, specifically with boulevard trees and the trees at Donaldson Park, we're in cooperation with the Minnesota Department of Resources Urban and Community Forestry Program. We did receive a grant to help us with some removals and replacing all of those trees. We do have our own tree planting program that we've done for years and years and years, where we plant anywhere from 170 to 200 trees on boulevards and in parks. And the last thing we've got going on, we've been partnering with Tree Trust. Over the last couple of years, they planted trees in various parks. Christian, Donaldson, Betts are some of the parks that we've planted trees in.
Okay. And this is a question that city council members get a lot. So people want to know, what trees is the city responsible for taking care of,
Mhm.
and what trees are they not responsible for taking
Right. So we have all the park trees, of course, but then we call it our boulevard tree program, and it gets a little confusing. But we maintain our forestry division maintains all of the trees on the boulevard, and generally that's a tree anywhere from it depends on the street, anywhere from 12 to 18 feet from the curb towards the yard or towards the house. So all the trees that are lined on the streets are trees that we take care of.
Okay. And this is kind of a question, just to wrap us up, a question that applies to a lot of our residents, clearly, those of us who have ash trees, but it actually applies to me personally. And I've literally wondered this as well. So I am a homeowner, many of us are, and we have ash trees in our yards. What if we're worried? And I'm actually very
Mhm.
worried about my tree. And how do I know if it's affected by emerald ash borer? What should I do? Who should I talk to? How do I prevent it? How do I understand what's going on in my private property?
Mhm. Right now, the best option right now would be call a private tree contractor. There's a number of them that are out there. We do have a list on our website, on our forestry page, that people can reach out to. They all have great information. I would recommend calling them as soon as you can. I think treatment is an option. It's worked for us on the boulevards. Um, Anything we can do to save a tree, it gets down to a cost type thing. It might cost anywhere from $300 to $600 to chemically treat an ash tree, where the removal costs are anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 right now. And I have a feeling that those prices are going to go up a little bit. So if you're wondering if you have an ash tree or what you should do, I think right now the best bet's to contact a private tree contractor.
Okay, and how does that work? So the city has a list of private contractors on the website. So do they do like, does it work like other services where they can give like a free estimate or free consultation? And then should we be, calling a couple of them to just make sure that what is being said is consistent across multiple folks? How do we do that?
Yep, that's a great point. Yes, they all do offer free consultation services. And we always recommend calling at least three because prices do vary at times, and availability too.
Okay, excellent. Well, I will be doing that as soon as possible for my own backyard. I actually have a maple too that I don't know what's
Mhm.
going on with it. It looks like it's maybe not well. And
Mhm.
so I would like to check both of them.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for all that you're doing to serve our community.
Mhm.
And thank you for giving us so much great information on emerald ash borer. This is a topic that's super important to our city and our residents. And I'm glad that we're talking about it now because maybe folks can make their appointments sooner than later and get this addressed. So thanks for joining me.